I'm gonna I'm gonna watch horror movies, okay? TikTok, oh no, shorts horror movies. So guys, um if you don't know horror movies like Spooky Scary Sunday, it's all the samurai sits and watch horror movies, sit back, relax, and sit back, relax, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna have for a snack. Have a Snickers and apple juice. This Catman. So get ready. Okay.
Back in 2014, I experienced something I still can't explain. I was still living at home at the time as an only child. I didn't have many friends or any hobbies to speak of, so I spent most of my free time
Damn! This guy don't have friends. He's
surfing the
friendless, bro.
internet, looking for anything that could hold my attention.
Okay.
On the weekends,
Search
I would wait
Krzy.
for my parents to leave the house. Then, like most teenagers, I would use the alone time to browse through more devious content. On the night
look at his face.
unexplainable thing happened. I was getting up to the same thing I always did. When I was finally home alone, I closed my door, turned the lights off, and grabbed a box of tissues from the bathroom, in case I got a runny nose while I was watching what I was finally able to watch now that nobody was around. My parents said they would go all night, though I knew I could stay at it for as long as I wanted. Of course, that meant that there were quite a few soiled and crumpled up tissues tossed into the bin. But after a couple hours, I was pretty much drained and bored of just watching stuff by myself like I did every weekend. I was starting to wish I had someone to talk to. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't have very many friends. Nobody that
Wait. Okay. Now I don't have some friends. I don't have no more friends. Like, he's like me, bro. I don't have friends.
could call close. The handful of people I could think of to text never even read my messages. So rather than beg the people I sort of knew at the time to talk to me, I figured I'd have better luck with strangers. I had already known about Omegle for some time by then, mostly by watching YouTubers exploring all the different tags you can add to your search for new friends.
Oh, do you search Krzy?
Myself. I didn't have friends because of my social anxiety, and that bled over to video chatting too, which I wasn't super comfortable with in the beginning, especially since they were all strangers. But it was better than tossing tissues all night, and I figured there was no way I'd ever see any of the people I met more than once, let alone run into them in person. So I gave it a shot.
Bro, why did this guy open Osmo and one... Bro. Okay, I'm not pausing it anymore, guys.
Obviously, just like anyone else would see, my initial experience on Omegle was getting flooded by...
Ew, my man! Bro, look at this cup of cheese. Oh, hell no, you're so fat. Damn, baldy.
The old men asking for my ASL. I skipped over all those guys.
Ew, bro, you're not a girl?
Of them. But even when I found somebody...
That girl! Bro, give me some digits. Give me your digits, girl.
Get skipped by them. It was only my first time on Omegle, but if it was supposed to be a place where you could talk to people, then that night was not a good night for it. All the freaks and weirdos.
My man is... Oh, nah. Look at this top of his head.
Be out, and I was starting to lose hope that I would ever find anybody of interest. I thought about calling it quits, but then I felt like giving it just a few more tries. That's when I encountered the most unusual thing I'd seen all night. Whoever or whatever they were. Someone or something. They were creepy.
No, bro, get the freak out. Close the computer. If I am there, bro, I'ma close the computer, throw it, burn it.
Any run-of-the-mill offender on a I was immediately so petrified by the image in front of me that I couldn't even click away from it.
Bro, just
I kept
click
staring at the screen, trying to figure out what in the world I was looking at. I couldn't tell if they were wearing some kind of mask or a bunch of weird makeup. Barely looked human, and if they were,
My mind is twitching, bro. Just
if
click
I had to
it.
describe them, it looked like a male figure with deathly pale skin, dark, sunken-in eyes, and a strange, scraggly haircut, like they were halfway dead and already starting to decompose. Then,
Oh no! Bro, let me just...
the man started meowing, like he thought he was some sort of cat man.
Bro,
Creeped me out, but I was still suspecting that I was getting pranked somehow, although I had no idea how any of this was supposed to be funny. Hello?
Yeah, bro.
What's up with you? Why don't you talk like a normal person? After I tried speaking...
Oh, he's not a guy!
The screen started glitching
Oh,
out.
no.
And
Oh,
that's
no.
when the cat man jumped from the...
Whoa! Oh my god, my hurts, bro. Look at it though.
It was like it was about to start spider walking in front of the camera, like the possessed girl from The Exorcist. It happened so fast that I fell off my chair, but I continued to watch from the floor.
Bro, my man is
struck. The cat man stared right into the camera, except his face was upside down now from the position he was in. He was still meowing too, which just added to the uneasy feeling that was building about this whole situation. I'd seen so many horror movies, and it felt like any one of them could come true at any moment. I half expected him to crawl out through the screen and reap my soul. What the hell do you want? Why are you doing that? Do you think this is funny, sicko? He didn't care
my man is stealing him. Sicko!
Of what I said, and if he did, I think it was only upsetting him, because it was then that his head began to twitch as he slowly
jump out the window. I'ma do jump out the window 360 backflip land on the ground, bro. Oh damn, my guy is dead.
All the while shrieking with one long meow, opening his mouth wider and wider to the point that it looked like he had an inhumanly large set of jaws. What the hell is the matter with you?
Oh no, jump scare.
I was horrified by whatever was about to happen next.
Jump out of screen.
The scream got worse and uncontrollable. Eventually froze, forcing it to crash. I breathed a deep sigh of relief that the computer shut itself off. I was still dumbstruck in the darkness and sitting on the floor, so I have no idea how long I would have let that go on before I came to my senses and skipped that psycho. I eventually picked myself up and left my computer alone for the night, deciding to get some sleep and see if I couldn't forget the whole thing, or at least put some mental distance between me and it. It was difficult to get to sleep after being shaken up, but I did get there after calming down for a little while.
Yeah, calm down. Take it easy.
Seemed all right. I could still vividly remember the strangeness of the cat man, his annoying meowing and corpse-like appearance, but other than that, everything seemed normal.
No way, my mind is naked.
I stood in front of the mirror before stepping into the shower and noticed the deep cat scratches all over my body.
Oh! This is the second animation is the real life story IG creepy. This is in Instagram, I think so. So yes sir, let me watch it. Yay! Yeah.
In my freshman year of college, I still lived with my mom. It was a small house in Fontana, California, near where I went to school. I didn't need to live in a dorm to get to know everybody in my classes. That's what things like Instagram were for. And I was upping my popularity by letting all the people I met at school follow me. I kept my profile up to date with posts and stories every day, taking selfies from pretty much everywhere I went, whether I was at the movies, at a fast food place, or even at home. That's just what everyone was doing. And I didn't want to alienate myself, but that's when I would soon regret that decision. One evening, After a long day of classes, I got home and did my usual routine of studying and having dinner with my mom. I eventually got into bed, ready to pass out.
No!
That was when I heard my phone buzz on the night.
Guys, if someone calls you at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., bro, throw that phone in the window!
And right as I was on the verge of falling asleep, I figured it was probably nothing, but I reached over and checked the notification, just in case it was a text from someone important. Unfortunately, it wasn't. It was just Instagram letting me know that I had another new follower. I was groggy and could barely read the username, but it was something like @JonathanW, and then a bunch of random numbers and characters. That, and the fact that they didn't have a profile picture, made it clear that this was not somebody who went to school with me. My curiosity led me to check out his page, and so I did. I could see that he was following hundreds of accounts, but didn't have a single follower of his own.
Oh, damn, my man!
There wasn't even a bio or a link to anything. However, there were a few posts on his account. As I began scrolling, I noticed all the posts were of the same thing. A confusingly close-up shot of some kind of cotton upholstery stapled onto wood planks, like he was some kind of construction worker. The only difference between any of them was that it looked like some of them were taken at night, while others were taken from the daytime. I figured the account was either just some bot or maybe some random weirdo, so I put down my phone and...
Wait, do you see that, guys?
Others were taken from the daytime.
Guys, look at that! Look at this! Who's that? Ain't no way, bro!
It was either just some bot or maybe some random weirdo, so I put down my phone and tried to go back to sleep. Not even a minute later, my phone buzzed again. This time when I checked, it was a DM from the same guy that read, "Hey baby, I realized
my man, stop playing!
But an actual person
Damn,
I decided to respond back with,
"Who's this?"
Admittedly, replying to him wasn't the best idea, but I wasn't thinking about the fact that he would be able to see when I read his messages after that. However, after a few minutes, he didn't respond with anything, so I put my phone down again and tried to get some sleep. I was just starting to doze off when I heard my phone.
Again? Damn!
I ignored it. It annoyed me to think I was...
Yeah, bro, ignore it, bro. Ignore it,
just
bro.
to interact with some Instagram creep. I figured if I stopped reading his messages, he would get bored and move on like most of them do. But that wasn't the case.
Just ignore
there was
it,
another
bro.
notification. My sleepiness was already spoiled by how irritated I was, so I checked it out with the intentions of blocking him. But what I saw made me realize that I was getting dragged into something far more serious.
Whoa, let me see.
He sent a candid picture of me at school.
Oh!
A chill ran down my spine.
Oh, no! Oh, hell no.
Earlier that day, but I had no idea I was being photographed by anybody but myself and my friends.
Yo, bro. Let me calm down.
Caption that read, "Do you like this candid shot I got of you today?" All of a sudden, this situation with seemingly just a harmless weirdo turned into something far more terrifying. I didn't know what to do, so I sent him a harsh text cussing him out.
"Who the hell are you?
Yes, sir.
Give me the below or I'll send this to the cops."
And as soon as I sent the message, I blocked the account so he didn't have time to respond. I threw down my phone for the last time and tried to finally get some sleep. But I was so horrified thinking that I now had a stalker
that was a dream.
I had no idea who he was or how long it had been going on. Yet, somehow, I managed to put myself in enough denial about the whole thing and fell asleep. In the morning, however, I remembered everything. I told my mom about the whole ordeal before I left the house, and I could tell she was concerned for me, but also just as clueless as I was. I talked to my friends about it at school, but none of them have ever dealt with anything like this before either. Thankfully, when I got home, my mom had this idea of setting up a couple of home security cameras around the house.
W mom, bro. W mom in the chat.
The extra measure of safety to help me feel safer. We made sure to put one of the cameras in my bedroom just before I went to bed for the night.
I mean, that's safe, but that's at the same time that's so weird.
I laid down and put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I was
bro, I'm gonna do that.
Like maybe nothing was that wrong after all. But just a few minutes after I turned off my lights, I heard my bedroom door creak open.
Oh hell no! Bro, I'ma do get the gun, boom, boom on the head cheek.
I opened my eyes, And that's when I saw the man in his underwear standing in my doorway. I started screaming from the top of my lungs, and that's when the man finally lunged towards me. I began to scream simultaneously just to get the creep away from me. Thankfully, the sounds I was making were enough to make him turn around and run out of the house.
Bro, I'm not dead. I'm not screaming. I'm not the 360 killer.
To my aid.
Oh no.
He stayed in the bedroom with the chair leaning against the doorknob and immediately called the police. Somewhat unsurprisingly, the man didn't run very far. They caught him lurking in the neighbor's yard just a few doors.
Oh no.
He handed over the security to the police.
No. I mean, the security is bold.
Everything we knew. And after a few days of investigating, we got the story they were able to put together. The man who snuck into my room was the same one who had been stalking me at school. He had developed an obsession over me and started taking pictures of me on campus. And then eventually started following me.
Don't smile on me.
That terrifies me the most.
Bro, I told you.
Never a construction worker. Those confusing pictures of wooden planks were just photos he took underneath my bed while I was sleeping in it. He had been sneaking into my house and hiding under my bed for weeks. All I know is that I'll always be on guard whenever a stranger sends me a DM or adds me on Instagram. I'm always paranoid if it's that guy again.
Okay, let me read this. This story was inspirational by a true story. The following image case the coupler. Okay, guys, this is true, so beware. Guys, this is oh no. Okay guys, this is your beautiful. Okay, so get ready, we're gonna watch this again. Right?
Back in my 20s.
Oh no! Stop right there! Look at the boat!
Highly of myself. I was a young, slim brunette and would always think I was the main attraction in every room I stepped in. At the time, I lived on the 12th floor of an apartment complex. I can recall always seeing people like my neighbors and other patrons around the building.
Oh no! Oh no! What are you watching? Bo, he says, okay?
Being catcalled, but didn't know more than give them.
Ew, look at his teeth.
It took some getting used to until one night I got inside and began to situate myself. Then I sat in front of my vanity and started to
do some makeup because that face is burrito.
No matter what they say, 'cause words can't bring me down.
Oh no.
No. How dare you say someone will eventually take your place? That'll never happen, you hear me?
The next day was like every other day. I would always run errands and have random pedestrians look at me wherever I went. This varied from single men to taken men to married men. However, damn! Of dissatisfaction, as I wasn't turning as much heads as I would have liked to. When I arrived home, I immediately glanced at the mirror, angered at my disheveled appearance. Then, as I approached closer to my reflection, I felt as if the answer was right in front of me. I wasn't going to stay young forever, and I was afraid to lose all the beauty I possessed.
No!
She's not beauty, she's a joke.
This can't be happening to me!
Then, as I scrutinized my face in the mirror, I noticed some wrinkles forming, and my face slightly sagging. I panicked, my hands trembling in apprehension. I then grabbed my brush and started frantically combing my hair. As I said,
I gotta do it. I must do it. I will do it.
Without a hinge of reluctance, I decided to undergo plastic surgery. The next day, I began seeking consultation from medical pundits, but unfortunately, they all told me the same thing, that I didn't need it and that overdoing it could increase my health risk, resulting in irreversible damage. However, no matter what they say, I constantly refused, hollering,
I didn't come here to get rejected. I'm willing to pay you any amount. Just give me what I want.
Miss Hannah,
that will be a $1 billion. Okay,
it's not just about the money. If we proceed, you might...
I don't care. Just get it done.
I slammed my fist on the table, frightening the doctors. So, unable to persuade me,
he's bold though. Okay. Everyone is bold. Why?
After grueling hours of sedation, lying flat on the operation table, I finally woke up. my head wrapped in bandages. Upon arriving home, I noticed the watchful eyes of my neighbors, who were probably curious about what had happened to me.
Yeah.
Did they know that, enclosed in this cocoon, was the most beautiful butterfly just waiting to reveal itself? As I waited for my face to heal, I was filled with anticipation, visualizing myself stepping on the false representation of beauty that I saw in other women.
Just wait and see. After this, I'll be the hottest girl around town.
What the frick? In 20
When it
years?
eventually came time for the big reveal, I stripped away the bandages like a fascinating creature coming out of its shell and went out into the streets to display the final stage of my metamorphosis. So, as I entered the grocery store, I earned a couple of stares and compliments, and as expected, some of the guys approached me, asking if I was single or if they could get my number.
Hey yo! Nah,
However,
you're not
as I
getting my
went
number,
home, I
girl.
was flustered,
but
feeling my
guy.
temperature rise again. I still wasn't satisfied with the public's perception of me. I felt as if I wasn't turning enough heads as I would have anticipated, despite my best efforts. Without looking into the mirror, I knew my face was turning red because I could feel the blood coursing through my veins, boiling with agitation. So, releasing my pent-up frustration, I said,
No, this can't be happening!
my body quivered as I told myself,
It's not enough. I need more! More!
My yearning for perfection had driven me to undergo more plastic surgeries, despite the doctor's constant opposition. Eventually, I had more work done until I underwent 20 various procedures. At some point, the doctors refused to take me in as their patient, wary of the damage I might cause to their reputation should future operations fail. I loathe such people, successful yet self-centered pricks who always thought they could boss me around. But no, it's unacceptable. I went on a rampage, and eventually, I was escorted out of the hospital.
Yeah, get out, man!
Returning. So, when I arrived home, I sat on the front of my vanity and began to cry.
Is she laughing or crying? Oh no. Oh no, this is creeping me out.
But as tears poured down my face, I laughed like a lunatic, infuriated by the doctors who had the audacity to refuse me. I paced myself apprehensively as I thought of what to do next. At that moment, I was drowning in anxiety, visualizing myself as an invisible woman that people would bump into without ever noticing me. So, without a doubt, I searched the black market, bought what I needed, put my latex gloves on.
Oh, she's doing herself!
The following day, I was getting ready to step outside of the house to display a kind of beauty that was unparalleled.
She's bold!
That was until someone knocked on my door. Upon opening it, I noticed it was the neighbor from down the hallway. However, instead of coming closer, he had this horrific look on his face, as if he had seen a Offended, I asked,
Why are you looking at me like that? Stupid neighbor. I can't stand beta men like him.
Damn! Oh, ew!
You are beautiful.
Ew!
No matter what they say. 'Cause words can't bring me down.
This story was inspired by a 28-year-old woman who was a successful model and singer. Before her descent into plastic surgery addiction, there were multiple doctors that refused to work on her anymore. Before she took matters into her own hands, she then returned to Korea. Her parents could not recognize her.
Damn!
She has since received psychiatric help.
Okay guys, that's gonna be it. If you like this video, just subscribe and slash that like button, and see you in brother and sister.